At 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The FBI made a troubling call to the Barshop Jewish Community Center here in San Antonio. What a threat prompted them to do next.
A family's plea after a woman was hit and killed on Fredericksburg Road, and what police say happened.
And a man was thrown from a vehicle and killed in a rollover crash that led up to a very deadly scene. That's coming up. All right, with that, TGIF.
It is Friday, and it's the first day of summer. So let's get right on over to our hot boy in the studio.
Whoa.
We got meteorologist Justin Horn. Okay,
very much.
Great news today for all of our kiddos out there.
Yes, it is officially the first day of summer. Well, almost. 9:42 this evening, we officially hit the summer solstice, and that means we officially go into summer. We'll explain about all that coming up in a little bit, but let's go outside for you first. And we've got some morning clouds, pretty typical stuff here, 78 degrees. San Antonio, New Braunfels, Converse, Stinson. I mean, you want to talk about consistency. We have been meeting that threshold really over the last week, and that will continue right through the weekend and into next week. Mornings in the 70s, afternoons in the 90s, and that small threat for a shower or storm. We saw that yesterday. We actually did pick up just a little bit of rain at the airport yesterday, technically, from some of those showers around the mid-morning hours. 93 is where we end up. We will keep an eye on the radar. It's possible we could see one or two more showers pop up this morning, but again, they will be very brief if we see them. All right, summer solstice is today. Of course, the northern hemisphere, because of the tilt of the Earth, tilting towards the sun. We'll explain what that means and about the fact that we're going to see 14 hours of daylight today. It is our longest day of the year, RJ, as folks head out the door this morning for work. What's looking like on the roads?
All right, Justin. Yes, and you could definitely feel it when you step outside. Thank you very much for that. And happy Friday to all of our folks there. We are picking up some construction right there, 10 at Hildebrand and the southeast side of town, 37 at 181, Highway 181. Traffic looking pretty good there. Some ongoing construction right here at 35 at Topper Wine. So let's go to our maps and kind of give you an update on what exactly is going on. 35 backed up all the way up to Evans Road, and we see our traffic kind of slowly moving through the southbound lanes of 35 at this moment. So over the past couple of days, they've been picking up some of this construction around 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. So hopefully that will be the case as we get through your Friday morning. 1604 has been a bit of a mess so far. 1604 right here at Sigma Road. That's a little bit closer to 281, a little bit past Blanco Road. We're seeing some delays right there over by Northwest Military and Lock Hill Selman. Let's take you to the other side of 281 now, because we have cleared out some construction right here at 1604 and Bulverde Road for some of our drivers on the north side of town. One more quick look here at the far west side of town, 1604 Valley Meadow, picking up some construction right here at 151 and 1604. Still a little bit of delays right there, a little bit past the SeaWorld area and Westover Hills. So we'll continue to follow the very latest. Again, no accidents to let you know about right now, just some overnight construction that we're dealing with. Let's go to Alex Gomez right now for a look at Drive Cam to start us off on your Friday morning. Alex, how we looking?
RJ, good morning and happy Friday. My favorite day of the week, and I'm starting it over here on the south side. Check out 35 South near Palo Alto Road. Southside still seems to be off to a great start. I even went through downtown. 35 southbound still has that construction near South Alamo. However, the upper levels are now blocked. So the lower levels are open. Just know that you can't exit South Laredo and South Cevallos right now. So the right lane's blocked this morning in the downtown area, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Alex, and happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to all of our folks out there. Ernie?
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. A troubling threat targeting San Antonio's Jewish community. The Barshop Jewish Community Center was forced to close its doors yesterday after police say someone threatened a mass shooting. While the suspect is now in custody, Jewish leaders say this is part of a larger issue. Coming up in the next half hour, why local Jewish leaders say this threat has them both concerned and frustrated.
Well, hit and killed while crossing the street. That's what happened to 62-year-old Irma de Leon on Fredericksburg Road 1 week ago. Balcones Heights police tell us that she was near the Wonderland of America's Mall when someone crashed into her and then sped off. A detective with Balcones Heights Police Department sent us these two photos right here showing the suspect's vehicle. But police have determined that the silver sedan is an Acura TLX between the year 2015 and 2017. Her family is fighting for answers and they grieve their loss of their own.
If you saw something and you know the vehicle, pick up the phone and call, please. That's all I'm asking.
Now again, we're showing you these photos. Again, we're told that it doesn't look like this car has a front license plate, and police believe that there is damage to the right front of the car.
A driver is dead this morning after he was thrown from a car in a horrific crash. It happened yesterday just after 1 o'clock on Southeast Loop 410 near East Houston Street. And that is where San Antonio police say the man was speeding down 410 when he crossed over the main lanes of the freeway and onto the access road. So he smashed into a dumpster, and the collision caused the car to roll over. He was thrown from that car and died at the scene.
This morning, we have another inmate death at the Bexar County Jail to tell you about. 48-year-old Robert Parker died at the hospital. But the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says the cause and manner of Parker's death still being investigated. Records show that Parker was jailed on charges of assaulting a public servant and retaliating. His death is the latest in the troubling trend, and according to KSAT's count, Parker is the 5th Bexar County Jail inmate that has died since January the 1st. We expect to learn more about this latest death in the coming days.
Yesterday morning, we told you about a deadly fire in the northwest side of San Antonio, and we've since learned 78-year-old Ellen Musgrave is the name of the woman who died in that fire. Neighbors say she had a big heart. So it all happened around 3:30 Thursday morning at her home on South Hill Road near Babcock in the Hillcrest community on the northwest side. Crews say it took about 20 minutes to knock down the flames and get inside the home, and that's when they found Musgrave after she had already passed. We also know that one of her pets died in the fire. 2 others are in ACS care right now. At this hour, we still do not know what sparked that fire.
So there are cleanup concerns following Wednesday night's massive explosion of SpaceX's Starship rocket in South Texas.
SpaceX chief Elon Musk is downplaying the incident, which is raising a lot of questions. ABC's Andrea Fujii reports.
This morning, environmental concerns in the aftermath of the SpaceX explosion as smoke billows from the site near Brownsville, Texas. Witnesses say they were scared and shocked when the Starship rocket erupted.
I looked over and there was a mushroom cloud in the air and the whole sky was orange.
Crews some 5 miles from the testing site still working in makeshift tents near the road. The testing site is surrounded by a wildlife refuge.
I'm very fearful for what the impacts on that surrounding refuge land was, and I'm hoping that people get out there, today or tomorrow.
SpaceX says a pressurized tank exploded, setting off a series of blasts. No injuries reported. But this isn't the first time there's been an explosion at the site.
We see them out there explode, some of the few ones that landed and they blow up afterward.
They test fairly regularly, literally, maybe even on a daily basis. And because we're not having the closures, well, they don't necessarily advise us, but I think that's what caught everybody off guard.
SpaceX was preparing for Starship's 10th flight test, the previous 3 ending in explosions, like this blazing debris streaming over the Caribbean after one Starship's catastrophic failure, forcing passenger planes to reroute. As the investigation into Wednesday night's explosion continues, SpaceX insists there are no hazards to people in the area and says it's working with local and state agencies to address any environmental concerns. SpaceX owner Elon Musk saying the explosion was just a scratch.
Starship is supposed to help reach NASA's goal of bringing astronauts back to the moon by 2027 and eventually to Mars. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
All right, quite a scene there in South Texas. All right, how about this, guys? It comes all down to this. The NBA Finals headed to a Game 7, the first since 2016 and 2013 when the Spurs played the Miami Heat. We're not going to talk about that series at all here. The Pacers powered past the Thunder 108-91. Tyrese Halliburton scoring 14 points for Indiana. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led OKC with 21 points, but it was not enough. So it all comes down to Sunday night in Oklahoma City, and you can watch coverage of the NBA Finals starting at 6:30 p.m. right here on KSAT 12. I got the Pacers. Oklahoma City stole the Sonics from Seattle, so go Pacers, Justin.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot to ingest. It's been a good series, though. I don't think a lot of people expected it to go 7, so there you go. Water temperatures. They're plenty warm here along the Gulf, so if you're headed to the beach this weekend, we'll give you an update on what you can expect coming up.
All right, a fun camp is happening this weekend, bringing different characters from all over the country to San Antonio. Ahead on GMSA, what they are training for coming up.
And after the break, our Patty Sattel's back in the building, has some important safety tips ahead of this year's bike rodeo.
It's fun. It makes me get tired, and I like sleeping.
I was little and I need train wheels, but I don't need train wheels right now.
Well, the summer months means more of our kids are spending a lot of time outdoors.
Especially since summer technically starts later tonight. But here's a scary statistic. More bicycle-related deaths happen in the summer months between June and October.
San Antonio Police Department has been working year-round to make sure that our kids stay safe. And Patty Santos is here with us this morning live to tell us about a citywide rodeo happening this weekend.
Hey there, good morning, guys. So if your elementary age kids were part of the school rodeo this year, well, the winners are invited to the citywide competition that's coming up this Saturday. I went out looking for young riders to see if they're practicing safety.
So, number one rule about riding a bike?
Don't fall off.
What's the number 2 rule?
Keep your balance.
Very good. What about your helmet? Is that part of the rules?
No.
And tell me about the safety things. Do you wear a helmet? Do you look both ways? What do you do when you're on a bicycle?
Look both ways.
We talked with San Antonio Police school resource officers who have been a part of bike rodeos throughout the school year. They even showed us some of the skills the kids who compete will be doing, like riding in a straight line and completing a circle. Officers stress the importance of wearing a helmet, checking bike pressure, and wearing bright clothing.
Ride in areas that are designated throughout the city of San Antonio, and even in some neighborhoods, you have the bike lanes. Stay out of the middle of the road.
Also avoid riding at night, and if you have to, make sure that you have a flashlight or a light on your bike, and make sure that you also follow the rules of the road at all times. Okay, so the citywide bike rodeo is open to the public to watch, but only the kids who already competed at their schools and won are invited to participate. You can head to KSAT.com for the hours and location. Ernie?
Very good. Patty, thank you very much. Well, dozens of characters from around the country are headed here to San Antonio this weekend for the annual Mascot Training Camp. The day-long camp will feature hands-on sessions in costume care and maintenance, fan interaction techniques, crowd engagement, and more. It's being put on by Jeremy Bartlett, a veteran mascot trainer who's also performed locally as the Spurs Coyote, Balapeño, and Henry the Puffy Taco, to name a few. The camp is expected to bring together performers of all ages and experience levels to sharpen their skills and boost their confidence.
At the end of the day, these performers are athletes, and so we train them how to take care of their body and how to prepare for the game, just like any athlete would, as well as there is a method to the madness, how to connect with people, how to activate fans, as well as how to take care of the costume, because these performers sweat a lot and those costumes can get really smelly. So we teach them how they can clean and maintain their costume for years to come.
So the Mascot Training Camp is taking place tomorrow from 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the Live Oak Conference Center. You see the owl right there on the right? That was me. That was you. And I only say that because I tried this, and it is extremely difficult. It's much more difficult than you would think. This is happening at the Live Oak Conference Center at Pat Booker Road, and we have a link to register Look at me barely moving there at KSAT.com. But incidentally, we're in a hotel right there. But during a football game, these are high school students. They can lose between 8 to 10 pounds.
Oh, I need to go ahead. I need to jump in one of those then. I can use the weight to come off, especially during the summer months.
Stop it.
Either way, hey, Mike could hook you up with a couple moves.
Mike, the KSAT mascot.
Yeah.
I could barely walk just like that. You see how awkward I look? Like I was going to the bathroom or something there. But I give him a lot of credit.
Was that Hootie? Because I did a story on Hootie.
So that was Willie the Wolf from Davenport. There was Buff Daddy from Clemens High
that
School.
was
and then
Buffalo.
Bosco the Eagle was a private school in Austin.
Oh, okay.
I'm still on the weight loss.
Hootie. I remember I did a story with the young man who was who did Hootie for Highlands High School.
It's crazy.
So yeah, good stuff there for our mascot, Justin. What was that? He was doing like the Karate Kid crane move or something. Okay, 281 at Santerra. Traffic is moving along here pretty well. 37 at South Cross. No major issues for our drivers on the southeast side of town, and downtown area is looking pretty good there as well. 10 at Colorado. So take a look here, 1604 Bitters Road. So just a little while or so ago, we had some delays right here for our drivers that were going westbound on 1604 past Huebner, but it looks like we are pretty much smooth sailing right here in between Huebner, Blanco, and also Northwest Military Highway for our folks on the north side of town. So still seeing some pretty good backups right here on the northeast side. This is going to be 35 backing things up to Evans Road over to the Selma area. And I'm going to give you a wider shot here of the northeast side of town because not only do we have the backup further up past Live Oak and Universal City, but a little bit closer to 410 and 35. Seeing a little bit of delays there for our drivers that are coming down 35 south that are headed towards Randolph Boulevard, maybe trying to make their way onto parts of 410. Right now, 410 looks pretty good for the most part. After earlier this week, we had some construction taking place over in parts of Perrin Vital. So something to keep in mind, but it looks like things are looking pretty good out there right now. 1604 Gold Canyon, traffic looking good. 410 WW White on the east side of town. Good morning to all of our folks there. No major issues there. So let's go to Alex Gomez right now in Drive Cam for a check of the roads. Alex, how we looking?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Right now, it's all quiet on the western front. I'm just getting on 151 right now from 410. So far, no crashes to report. I'm going to make my way to 1604 and take the long drive to the northeast side, see how things are looking over there, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alex. So now to a man who loves himself a good mascot, huh, Justin?
Mascots are the best, and I got to tell you, one of my favorite is Jalapeno. I think that is it's a great mascot. Anyway, speaking of hot, summer solstice is here, and June 20th through 22nd is when we typically see the summer solstice. And the reason we see our seasons, by the way, is because the Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees. You can kind of see how this plays out here. You got the two equinoxes, the vernal and the autumnal, or fall. And then you have the winter solstice where the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. In this case, summer solstice, we are tilted towards the sun at its greatest degree. So this is our longest and brightest day of the year in the northern hemisphere at least. And yes, it is the Earth's tilt that gives us our seasons, not the fact that we're closest to the sun or anything like that. It is all about the tilt, or at least the northern hemisphere, again, is closest to the sun, but not the Earth itself. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Authority Radar. We've got a couple of showers down here around Beeville. We'll watch some of this activity. You remember yesterday, towards the end of the morning commute, we did have a few showers showing up. So it's possible, but they'll be brief and move right along. They're not going to stick anywhere for too long. 70s this morning, warm and humid midday, 88, 10% chance of rain all day long. And then this afternoon, 93 with a heat index 98 plus. Our ridge of high pressure is on the move. It's starting to move across Texas, which is keeping things, again, generally quiet other than a few of those showers. But I will point out that you see these clouds down here. This is water vapor imagery we're looking at, by the way, where you see the green color and kind of the whitish gray color. That is moisture that is actually creeping up into deep South Texas from Eric. Probably not going to do much for us, but just kind of interesting. It's throwing some clouds in our direction. Of course, it was a hurricane, now just sort of the remnants there in Mexico. Beach forecast. If you're heading to Port A or Rockport, forecast calls for 90s today and really all weekend. Water temperatures are in the mid 80s, UV index, no surprise here, will be extreme. And the rip current risk is moderate, so please keep that in mind. Winds will be kind of gusty. There could be a stray shower or storm. But the water temperatures of the Gulf are plenty warm. We're talking low to mid 80s, as we said. So, yeah, it's kind of like bathwater down there already. 92 Saturday, 94 Sunday. Next week, we do bring in a slightly better chance for rain, especially as we get into Wednesday, 30% chance there. And there's rain chances across the board, but I would just say don't get your hopes too high because this is all spotty, showery type stuff. Okay, our Just Ask Justin question this morning, of course, is going to be about the summer solstice. So on the summer solstice, in the northern hemisphere, where is the sun directly overhead at solar noon?
What? What does that mean?
I was going to make it really tough on a Friday. I got to. So is it the equator, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer, or the Arctic Circle? So if you were to stand on this place, you would not have a shadow.
Oh. What does that even got to do with the
it's the
zodiac sign?
Remember,
23.5 degrees. Okay.
Oh,
think about it.
Okay. Well,
my head hurts again.
I was going to make it tough this morning. I had to.
It's Friday. Sure did. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, of course.
5:23 right now. We're looking at 78 degrees outside.
We need a layup. We need more layups.
Okay.
President Trump is giving TikTok temporary relief once again. This and more in today's Tech Bites after the break.
In today's Tech Bites, another reprieve for TikTok. President Trump signed an executive order allowing the platform to run in the U.S. for another 90 days. That'll allow them time to broker a deal to bring TikTok under U.S. ownership, which Trump believes will better protect the privacy of American users. After more than 4 years of waiting, Spotify may be ready to roll out higher quality audio streaming. Developers say they discovered hidden features in the app's latest update, including an option for enhanced sound quality. Spotify has not commented. Finally, the iPhone will soon let you snooze how you choose. Apple says a customizable snooze button is coming in a future software update. The snooze button will now be adjustable from 1 to 15 minutes. No more being stuck with that 9-minute default. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Lionel Moise. Have a great day.
All right, 5:26 right now. We're looking at 78 degrees outside.
So as we approach the end of President Trump's pause on reciprocal tariffs, countries like Canada are striking back with tariffs of their own. How much steel could it increase? Coming up.
Welcome back. It is 5:30 right now on this Friday. We're getting closer and closer to the hour of summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And longest day.
Later tonight. Yeah.
Yes, 14 hours of daylight today. Actually, 14 hours, 1 minute, and 54 seconds.
Look at this breakdown. I see you, man. Well, is it going to feel? Is it going to feel like summer though?
It is. Yeah, we've been kind of stuck in this pattern now for our, I'd say, several days, and then we just keep it going. Yesterday, if you remember, we had some showers across San Antonio, mainly in the morning hours. I think we could see a little bit of that again. These are fast-moving showers, but we see a few of them down towards Beeville and Victoria. Some of these could work their way towards San Antonio. But anything we see today will be light and quick-moving. You're not going to get a lot of rain out of it. 10% chance is what we're going to call for across the board. So stray shower. This morning, warm and humid noontime, 88, 91 at 2 o'clock, partly cloudy, and 93 is your high with a heat index 98 plus. We saw that yesterday. Okay, so we talked about the drought monitor yesterday where there wasn't much improvement, and we did our research. Meteorologist Shelby Ebertowski made some calls, did some emails, and we talked to the folks that put this together, and this is what they tell us. The reason why we didn't see huge improvement because the groundwater still too low, the aquifer still too low, spring flow still too low, as are the lakes and reservoirs. I mean, we know that, but they really do dig into those numbers. So coming up, we'll dig into those numbers as well and show you kind of where we stand. That's coming up here in just a couple minutes. But where do we stand in the traffic world, RJ?
All right, Justin, we are clearing some things out in terms of some construction across our area. And unfortunately, a site that is familiar to a lot of folks out here in the northeast side, a bunch of these orange construction barrels just kind of lining the highways there. This is 35 at Judson Road, and we're going to show you a couple of maps of the little bit of the backups that we're seeing right now on 35 on the northeast side of town. But we do have reports of a stalled vehicle over here at 1604 by Houseman. It's actually closer to Champions Gate. So I'm going to look at the website and see exactly what we're looking at, what direction. That's going to be eastbound traffic. Now, according to this TransGuide camera, it looks like we are pretty much clear in this one particular spot. That, of course, is right there by Brandeis High School. So good morning to all our folks there. It looks like, for the most part, that this should not be a major deal. But if you're traveling along 1604 near Brandeis or going towards the UTSA main campus, you may run into a little bit of backups there. 1604 Bitters Road, 1604, this entire stretch had some major construction overnight over by Northwest Military Highway, Lock Selma, Hebner, but things have cleared out for the most part as we get closer to our 6 o'clock hour. And again, 35, this is going to be our biggest delay at the moment as we are starting to see traffic move a little bit better right here. This is going to be 35 South Evans Road. Earlier, we had that back up towards Selma. It looks like that has actually started to move a little bit further south, but we mentioned a little while or so ago that Judson Road was seeing some pretty good backups right here. 35,000 Oaks. And again, looks like traffic is starting to clear out just a little bit. So stay safe if you're about to step outside anytime soon, especially on the northeast side of town. Let's go to Alex right now in Drive Cam for us. And happy Friday to you, Alex. How are things looking out there?
Yeah, happy Friday and good morning, RJ. Well, we do have construction over here on the west side as well. This is going to be 151 westbound right before Wiseman, and the highway's closed right here. You actually have to exit Wiseman and then re-enter right away. So it's not creating a big slowdown right now. However, it is quite the inconvenience to have to exit and re-enter. So again, 151 westbound right before Wiseman. The highway is closed, RJ.
Okay, good stuff there from Alex, and we'll continue to monitor that situation for all of our folks out there by the SeaWorld area. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. So the threat of a potential mass shooting shut down San Antonio's Barshop Jewish Community Center on Thursday. SAPD confirmed the person who made the threat has been arrested, and they believe the threat is gone. But as Courtney Friedman explains, the threat was also against the broader Jewish community, and local Jewish leaders are concerned and frustrated.
Little after 8 this morning that I received a call from the FBI.
FBI agents told Temple Bethel Executive Director Eric Reinecker someone had made a mass shooting threat against the Barshop Jewish Community Center, but also the Jewish community entirely. The JCC immediately sent an email to parents and shut its doors for the day.
Local police has been on site all day, and my understanding is that's been true at the campus and all the other synagogues too. Everybody knows what to do.
Your reaction when you get a call like that?
Honestly, frustration more than anything, because of how almost routine it is. It's terrible, it's tragic, it's not okay, and yet this is just part of what we do.
Later in the day, SAPD confirmed the person who made the threat had been arrested out of state. Chief William McManus saying, quote, the arrest was based on statements the individual made while being questioned by authorities, end quote. Reinecker's phone has been ringing all day from people across the community and beyond.
Our new mayor, Gina Ortiz-Jones, reached out to the senior rabbi.
In a statement to the press, Mayor Jones said in part, we will continue to monitor this situation closely. Anti-Semitism has no place in San Antonio and will take all necessary steps to ensure the safety and security of our Jewish neighbors.
Do you feel supported here in San Antonio?
I do.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Switching gears now, we got SeaWorld San Antonio mourning the loss of one of its beloved animals this morning. And we're talking about Kamea the whale. Sadly, it passed away. And at just 8 years old, she was the youngest in her pod. SeaWorld says that she brought joy to millions of people. In a post on social media, SeaWorld said that in part, quote, despite the tireless efforts of animal care and veterinary teams, Kamea succumbed to an illness surrounded by those who loved and cared for her deeply, end quote.
A big boost for teachers and staff in Harlandale ISD. The school board gave the green light to district-wide pay raises, with veteran teachers seeing the biggest jump. Those with 5 or more years in the classroom will get a $5,000 bump. New teachers will now start at $60,000, while the most experienced educators can earn up to $76,000. And it's not just teachers. All district employees will see at least a 2% increase in their paychecks this September.
A brewing trade battle with our neighbors to the north. We're talking about Canada's firing back at U.S. trade policies, planning to slap new tariffs on steel starting July 21st. It's a direct response to those steep American duties, now at 50% of the Canadian steel and aluminum. Canada even offered to boost its defense spending in exchange for relief, but no deal, while both sides promised to work things out in the next month after the G7 summit. Time is ticking, and President's trade restrictions kick back in July 9th.
The world is holding its breath as President Trump sets a 2-week deadline to decide on striking Iran. It comes as missiles fly between Israel and Iran, including yesterday's Iranian strike on an Israeli hospital. The White House now claims Iran could be just weeks away from a nuclear weapon, though U.S. intelligence officials recently disagreed. And Americans are split, with 6 in 10 saying stay out of the fight. Diplomatic talks start today in Geneva, but the clock is ticking.
Outside with live cam, temperatures in the upper 70s, very humid this morning. As promised, we're going to take a look at some of the aquifers, the spring flows, the health of our water system here around South Texas. That's coming up.
School is out, but that doesn't mean that they're not impacting the daily lives of kids. Coming up, how schools are stepping up to meet the needs of students who go hungry during the summer.
And it looks like we're going to start the Friday morning commute on a good note. Right now, after the break, I will give you a full traffic report.
Welcome back. It is 5:43. So when school's out, food runs out for, or when school's out, food runs out for a lot of San Antonio family. But they depend on schools to keep their kids fed, sometimes for breakfast and lunch.
And schools step up to meet that need. Our Myra Arthur went to 2 local campuses in different parts of the city to show you how nourishing families is a year-round effort.
Can I sit with you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. What was for lunch today?
We had chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, strawberries.
A full belly for her kids means a full heart for Jessica Robles and a weight off her wallet.
We also support my mother-in-law, and my husband just graduated school.
Whether it's feeding 2 kids.
Yeah, it's a financial help and it's a
mental help, definitely.
Mental help too.
Or 3 kids.
As far as food right now, you know, we make ends meet, but it's still like not enough.
Or even 4 kids.
Feeding my 4 boys. It gets pretty pricey at home.
Northside ISD helps fill the gap. Anyone 18 and under can eat breakfast and lunch free at 31 schools this summer, like here at Merton Elementary.
You can go to whatever site, regardless of age or school enrollment. You can also just be a community member. You don't even have to be a Northside student.
The same goes for other school districts. Like in SAISD, where lunch is ready at Jaffet Elementary.
Walking tacos, corn, beans, charro beans, and oranges for fruit.
What is a walking taco?
A walking taco is the San Antonio Independent School District version of nachos. All right, Mr. Jude, here you go, sir.
Some of them might not have meals at home, so it's extremely important that we open up our doors Monday through Friday for breakfast and lunch so that they are able to actually eat some meals that they might not have at home.
Whether they're an SAISD student or not.
But it's a need that a lot of schools meet, and you get to do that. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot as a mother. Now as a grandmother, it really means a lot because no grandmother wants their babies to go hungry. Come on out.
That is so, I love seeing that, having those resources in our community, especially for our families out there who, you know, struggling to make ends meet, but always having their child's, stomach full.
Yeah,
I think that is really cool, especially when the districts jump in and help.
And we learned what a walking taco was.
There you go, yes.
Real good.
It does.
I will say, yeah, that food looked pretty good there.
So right now on KSAT.com, you can find a link to a map that actually shows all the places where you can find a free summer meal for the kids this summer. School district websites also list this information, plus the menu. And that map is really cool because I was actually looking into the story, and it's cool because it's like, it shows all of our area, and you click on specific areas that shows, where the need is and where a kid can try to get some food. So it's a good tool to have for parents.
Good information, indeed. And we talked yesterday a little bit about the drought monitor that came in, and we were, kind of disheartened a little bit by the fact that it didn't improve very much. So we had minimal drought improvement. There was some, but not a lot. And we did follow up on this, and we talked to the folks who released the drought monitor, and we asked them, hey, why? And they say the groundwater levels are still too low, low aquifers, low spring flow, low lakes and reservoirs. This all plays into it. So yeah, we got a lot of rain, but perhaps these numbers are just a little too low. The San Antonio well, by the way, the aquifer, I should say, part of the Edwards aquifer at J17 well is at 639.3. So we're still 22.6 feet below average. This is a much better number than what we were dealing with. It's just that we were in such a deficit that it's going to take a lot more to get out of it. Uvalde, by the way, in the same boat here. In fact, a little bit worse off. They're down 42 feet. It's at 823.5 there. That's the J27 well. And you look at the area reservoir levels, well, we're still at record lows. Canyon Lake's at 47%, Medina 2.5%. Not good there. So the recent rains didn't really help all that much. And the spring flows, again, not great. 160 at Comal, 95 at the San Marcos Spring. These are cubic feet per second. That's how they're measured, but they're well below average. So you get what I'm getting at here is, yes, those recent rains helped a lot, but we were in such a deficit that we're still not out of the woods, and technically speaking, by their standards, we are still in an exceptional drought. Suppose that that makes sense. Could we get some more rain? Well, yeah, next week it looks a little bit better. 10% chance next few days, 20% chance Monday, Tuesday, 30% chance Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of a day we're highlighting because we get some deeper moisture in place and maybe a little bit better coverage. You look at the upper level flow here. We've been talking about this. This heat high moves across Texas today and then moves off to the north and east and brings some big time heat to the eastern half of the country. In fact, it's going to kind of settle in right around the nation's capital, and that means they're going to see probably some record highs coming up. You look at the temperature outlook for next week, and it will be well above average in places like West Virginia, up to parts of Maryland and down to North Carolina. And while we will see likely maybe slightly above average temperatures here, it will not be as dramatic is what they're dealing with on the East Coast. And because we see a trough out west, they'll see some cooler temperatures in those monsoonal regions like El Paso and Albuquerque. All right, our forecast. 10% chance, as we said, next few days, temperatures in the low to mid 90s. That will also be the case next week. Rain chances each and every day, but they are small, and likely we're not going to see a ton of rain out of this type pattern. Okay, our question for you today, because it is indeed the summer solstice. On this summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, where is the sun directly overhead at noon? And I know this is kind of early and trying to figure this out, but is it the equator? Is it the Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, or the Arctic Circle? So far, we've got votes for both the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer. You can vote, ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code. Think about it. It's a tricky one. It is. I admit it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that, Justin.
You're welcome.
All right, RJ, how are we looking out there?
I have no idea what Justin just said.
Wish I would have paid more attention in grade school.
I don't even think this was a grade school thing.
This is a Justin
Kind of
thing
is.
for sure.
It was when I was in grade school.
All right, guys. Yes. And yes, by the way, the Comal River. Love the Comal River. Shout out to my Texas State Bobcats out there. 151 at 410. Traffic is looking pretty good out there, despite some delays due to some construction. And we're going to check in on that here in just a little bit. But biggest point of concern right now is going to be right here, 35 at Judson Road. So earlier we saw that southbound traffic was being affected a little bit past Live Oak and Universal City. Now it looks like they're doing work on the northbound lanes here. This is going to be Weidner Road, O'Connor, up towards Topperwine, and of course Judson as well. You see some of the backup right now for our drivers on the northeast side of town making their way on the northbound lanes of 35. So earlier we had the southbound, now it's on the other end. So we'll see if we could get more details on that situation. Still seeing some backups right here. This is going to be 1604 at Wiseman, and actually more on 151, 151 traffic headed westbound towards 1604. A little bit of backup right there due to some ongoing construction over by the SeaWorld area, Westover Hills. So keep that one in mind if you have to step outside anytime soon. 1604 Houseman. I think we're going to be good there in terms of our traffic over by Champions Gate. Earlier we had reports of a stalled vehicle out there. All right, if you are headed out, maybe going to take a little road trip this weekend, as Justin mentioned, maybe going out to one of our awesome lakes or rivers, anywhere that you're going to be headed out. $2.80 right now is what you're going to be paying for gas for regular and leaded. $2.80 compared to $2.86 last week across the state, $2.84, and nationally we're at $3.21 on this Friday morning. So not too bad out there. I've seen some places that were as high as $2.90. So yes, if you could get it at $2.80 or anything lower, that would be good if you're going to maybe take a little bit road trip. Speaking of being on the road, let's go to Alex Gomez right now in Drive Cam and see how things are looking on the streets. Alex, what's up, man?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Right now I am on the north side, 1604 eastbound, right at 281. So far, 1604 has been pretty good. I made it here from 151, even right there, 1604 near Hausman, no delays, no stalled vehicle anymore. So speeds are pretty good. I'm still making my way to the northeast side, and I want to see how traffic is looking over there for our 6 a.m. drivers, RJ.
Okay, thank you for that update, Alex, on this Friday morning. Guys, back to you.
All right, it's 5:52 right now. We're looking at 78 degrees outside.
More to come? Yeah, we'll be back.
Got our friends from the San Antonio Humane Society joining us with a little cute feline. Okay, I see we got a calico pattern of some sort. What's going on here?
She is so cute.
Yeah?
I mean, she was actually in our foster, but she's about a 2 to 3 month old little kitty cat. This is Marigold. So right after some cute little summer flower names, but yeah, she's ready to go. She came in when she was super tiny. She's still a little tiny, but about a 2 to 3 month old little baby kitten. I mean, look at her.
Oh my goodness, and she seems so cute. When she got out of her crate, she had that loud little roar, and it was just so precious.
Yeah, she's like, it's Friday. I'm here.
Amen.
Let's do this.
Hey, yo, being here and let's doing this, you guys got some swag to talk about. Okay.
Yeah, we do. So you can come see us. We have pet beds, and these pet beds are made by one of our volunteers who donates them back. Yeah. So 100% of the proceeds go to us. We've got ones for cats, dogs, anything. She does them per season, so lots of summer ones. We also, if you're looking for leashes, collars, toys, anything for your new little friends, we've got that too. So you can come by and see us and see little Marigold and get all your swag ready to go.
That is amazing. You guys always have something good happening out there.
Yeah, we love it. So
definitely. Well, if a person is interested in getting some swag or getting little Marigold, what do they need to know?
So they can go on our website, sahumane.org, or come see us at 4804 Fredericksburg Road. We're open 12:30 to 7.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for always bringing joy to our studios.
Of course.